Hey everyone, and welcome back to Homeworld Deserts of Karak. Woo! It's just a big Steam sale, so I expect everyone to be playing, like, constantly for the new players. Just kidding. But we're just gonna watch a casual replay here between Shrike and AGameAnx and Soban Mirror. That's pretty funky. On the Boneyard. And I believe this was played, yesterday at 11:01 a.m. Okay, so this was actually very recent then. Probably just a bit of practice for both of these players outside of Draki Cup, but of course we know Shrike here is the Saban. Well, they're both Saban, but with the blue and yellow colors. Pretty funky looking. Has, I don't believe, ever beat A-Game in a 1v1 before. If you recall back to the Artifact days, A-Game was kind of like the guy to beat, and he sort of stayed that way, so. Yeah, me too, dude, me too. I feel like we're all ready, just God Hates Weebs isn't here. Makes me angry. Because we're so close, but what he's talking about, we've been trying to set up this matchup for Balcora Cup 2 for like a long time now. And I'm afraid God Hates Weaves and I might get DQ'd if we just can't find a match here, which is quite a shame. But anyway, Shrike, definitely the guy who's got to win this game. I think it's pretty clear that A-Game is sort of the favorite here. SC first opening from Shrike on 6-up, and I believe A-Game's probably going to do the same from 8-up. Yep, that's going to be the case. Kind of an interesting discussion there as to like which build is better. We really don't know. Although when it comes to like GVG or GVC and stuff, I would always do 6-up. I feel like 8-up is too risky. But this match may be going to be a good demonstration of like which one we think is actually more beneficial, like who gets more money off the end of this. Because obviously we have more mining time on these CU salvagers here, and by the time the Sport Cruiser finishes, these guys will pretty much be finished mining, so the carrier will like drive up to them. So it's really efficient, but I still don't know actually if this is really much faster than going 6-up. It used to be very clear-cut in earlier versions of the game with the Draki patch. By the way, A-Game a little bit slow to move his carrier out here, so that's going to hurt him just a touch. Probe's having a bit of communion out there in the middle of the field. A-Game going to find the base runner here, doesn't want to take any shots. A little bit slow on the Probe micro there, and actually he's going to lose it. Oh. Yikes. That's never what you want to do. Kind of uncharacteristic. He isn't Descara though, so you know, we're not expecting him to be perfect with his probes, right? And a couple LAVs going to be built from A-Game. Now, it's important to note, if he doesn't have this probe anymore, he can't scout as efficiently. And Shrike, by the way, he sees the SC, he knows there's not going to be tech yet, so he's okay to just move this probe back. This is actually a good move here. But he's actually able to go a little bit more aggressively into tech here. I'm looking at the situation now. We have 3 salves here, and we have 2 here with 1 on the way side. It looks as if 8-up was more successful, right? But it's hard to say. It's hard to say because obviously we have the tech coming out faster for Shrike as well. I don't know. I'm not sure which one is better. Of course 8-up is better, dude. Okay, maybe I'm being a Pepega, but I don't know. He did have the eco up faster. Maybe he's right about this. Usually you trust A-Game. That's usually the play. LAV gonna get thrown into the targeting jammer here. 2 LAVs versus a base runner. He's only got about like 600 meters left to go, so I imagine this guy will extract. I can't see that failing. Targeting jammer is good, by the way, just delay a little bit of time. You'd never do that in vanilla, but in patch, of course, they are free, so. Which I think is a good change, because targeting jammers were so meh in vanilla, man. But instant tech into missile battery here from A-Game, and tech into fighter and gunship from Shrike. Wow. That's always pretty fun to see. Yikers. Shrike gonna lose a probe 2 here, so they've kind of traded that way. And here comes A-Game to go ahead and check the the carrier here. He will see AV tech. What bovine jester. I've never seen that before. I like it. 1 LAV produced here. This is a really nice move from Shrike. He's just trying to ward off that probe. I mean, this is really cheap, you know. Not going to be hurting for economy because he built an LAV, you know what I'm saying? He just wants to see, hey, can I get rid of this probe here? Stop him from scouting my fighter and gunship tech, and he will. No, I didn't, because I'm a Pepega. He must have it from some other channel he's subbed to, or she. It's Miss Kissland, that's probably she. Fighter and gunship gonna finish here. Production is timed really much, pretty much perfectly. But A-Game is gonna go for Missile Battery instead of Air himself. Now, we saw someone do this in the Draki Cup, right? I'm trying to remember who it was. And it worked for them really well, I think. I'm trying to remember what game this was. Oh, okay, well that would make sense. A-Game does like to experiment, if you didn't know, with kind of... Like, he likes to do things that aren't meta in, like, previous versions of the patch to, like, see if they work, and he'll do them in turn as well. So you versus Discara, this was done, huh? ALM taking a bit of damage here. These AVs don't want to move forward, it seems. And I think it's because of this targeting jammer. So that was kind of a interesting sort of standoff there. You wouldn't have seen it, actually. Last time you saw the carrier, he didn't have air tech yet. But this probe is coming back in, so this should be a time that he definitely builds missile batteries, because now you can see that light blinking. Oh, the light just turned off! No way, but definitely you can see that target now, right? So this is definitely a time to be building missile batteries. These AVs still interested in seeing if they can get some damage done here, but it looks like nothing's gonna happen. A-Game doing a pretty good job just warding him off. He can't push, obviously. It's armor 0 versus armor 1, but Shrike shouldn't push either. This is a bit of a mistake here. Yikers. He may kill this ALM, you know. No, smoke comes down on that. That's kind of what we expected. There's no targeting jammer ready, but... Uh-oh, he's still got targeting focused on that other side there. Salvagers are going to go down. Just one so far, probably a second going to be killed here, but then the missile battery's out. 2 of them, in fact. That could be some dead strike fighters if Shrike sticks around. It looks like he will. So he gets another salvager, but he loses a strike fighter. Probably not worth it. And, oh my gosh, the ALM actually went down. I didn't see how that happened exactly. That's some mortar going off, just trying to kill an LAV there. Oh, which is good, because this guy has 43 HP. So that could easily have been another salve kill there, but... Shrike is actually ahead on economy right now. And he still has 2 strike fighters. Now, it's worth noting... A-Game, I mean, this base is covered because it's close to the missile batteries. This one has a base runner and sport cruiser, so Shrike not going to be able to do damage to, like, the eco right now. But, he still has these strike fighters. So A-Game has got him covered for, like, the bases, but you can't really push out very easily. And this is always why strike fighters, I think, were good in vanilla CVC. In fact, they were almost, like, required. But it remains to be seen if that's going to be true in this matchup here. People like, I'm always talking about people like Discara and whatever, how they're really good with their air micro. They just, like, never will fail to get value out of these air units, right? We'll see if Shrike's able to do it too, who is now in the chat, by the way. That's Shrike, if you didn't know. He told me this replay was like David versus Goliath, so I had to cast it, of course. And I must agree, that is sort of the matchup we're dealing with here. Let's just hope he's collected a bunch of stones from the last river he passed. This is Deserts of Karok, so not gonna find many streams around here. As you can see, I'm still pretty sharp on my Bible game. LV is gonna get warded off here, can't do anything, but this is quite a concentrated force. But and by the way, Shrike has seen it because of, like, census pings. He knows someone's out here, but he doesn't know about these missile batteries, so... This is a little bit of a lazy push by the rails to be outside of the, Oh, yikes! That was pretty close. These guys are gonna have to dock here. It's a bit lazy of the railguns to, like, move out ahead of the missile batteries like that, but he's not gonna get punished for it. We saw that happen, I think, in his games against Discara in group stage. And he would push out, he has missile batteries, but, you know, they are slower, right? They have 60 speed versus a rail's 70 and an AV's 80. And so he would just sort of let them trail ahead of, like, the missile batteries, and then they took big damage. This is a potentially interesting fight here, but yeah, that's what I was waiting for. That targeting jammer was pretty nasty. Double mortar could be really nice here too. One of them gonna fire. Here's the second. But there's rails from Shrike as well. This is high ground versus high ground. He's about to finish Mag Excel. They both have the same armor. But he really needs to smoke now, because now he's in range of the AVs. You know what? I'm looking at this now. In fact, he doesn't end up needing to smoke, but he does anyway. That's fine, though. I'm looking at it now. I think, actually, maybe the mortar was a mistake there, because you could use it pretty effectively against the railguns later. I agree, though. That smoke is really wise, because you might not know this. The targeting jammer obviously stops you from shooting, but it stops you from casting any abilities, too. I think, anyway. It might be a bit complicated, because I think it stops any weapons, and like a lot of abilities are tied to a weapon or something like that. Oh, I never noticed this. Look, there's a little sigil on the ground here. Sigil. So good at English. But, yeah, so what he's talking about here is he threw the smoke before the targeting jammer landed. If he hadn't, there's no option actually to smoke yourself out. Clown syndrome. Oh, you're killing me, man. Anyway, Shrike definitely actually taking the upper hand in this engage over here. And this is a lot of armor units. And I think that this is showing that Shrike is indeed getting some value out of having the strike fighters on the field, because he doesn't have to build these missile batteries, but A-Game feels somewhat compelled to keep them always with the army, because otherwise strike fighters are going to give him a bad time. But this could be a bit troublesome here, as A-Game is obviously cleaning up these AVs, and then he's ready to kind of move in here. And these LAVs are just going to have a field day on these sub-on rails. This would be a time, I think, to launch the strike fighters, but the carrier block is good. Look at that. That's great micro, actually. Totally splits the LAVs, makes it harder for them to get up onto these railguns. So it gives them time to get under the the support cruiser, and he's still pushing over here. Wow, that was so compelling. That was really good. Bravo, Shrike. I thought that was going to be a lot worse than it was. Oh. And he's in the base here, too. I mean, there's AVs, you know, chomping for damage, but there's no rails on A-Game's side, at least not to fight the rails of his opponent. Oh, the det packs. Huge damage off these det packs, though. Missile battery should go down here. I guess he wants to prioritize the space runner. He does get a missile battery. But, I mean, one thing that would be good, though, is put a smoke here. I think he had two. Put a smoke here and there, and then you can damage this SC a little bit more freely. So I think a little bit of a throw of the army there, but like the fact that he didn't just die from those LEDs and from the AC is really big, actually. Because I feel like we would have seen Shrike just kind of die to that before, but this is way better than usual. This is great. You know what? I always said back in the Shrike versus Maze rivalry days, because it's not really a rivalry anymore. When they meet each other, Shrike just kills them. You know what I mean? But I always said I really was excited for Shrike because he was like the up-and-coming player, you know what I mean? Now I kind of feel that way about No Fun more, but this is what I always wanted to see from Shrike. I'm really happy about this. Because, like, when the day comes that Shrike is also, like, a contender for, like, the semifinals and stuff, you know? We already have Phoenix and Orb and everything. They're really good, obviously. When Shrike is a contender for that spot, too, I mean, that's going to be, like, insane DOK times. By the way, another good opportunity for the strike fighters to launch there, I think, just kind of chunk up those LAVs. And you're probably not going to see Assault Cruiser anti-air from A-Game. Oh yeah, look at this. So he's going to launch the strike fighters over here. I appreciate that choice as well. Definitely needs to deal with this, though. Yeah, okay, some AVs being built. That's exactly what it needs. And that AC is going to go down. There's no anti-air here. There's only 2 missile batteries left, and they're both kind of out of position. So A-Game, yeah, instinctively backing away here, but he needs more anti-air, actually. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna sound rude, but I wasn't really feeling terribly confident that Shrike would actually get value out of these strike fighters after the anti-air was up, but I'd say he has. This is, again, kind of exactly what we want to see from him. Oh, you know what? I take it back. He actually has support cruiser anti-air. So this SC is forward with the army. I thought this was 2 ACs, but it's not. So he does have anti-air cover here. And Shrike will probably learn that in just a second. Although it didn't fire. Wait. Oh my gosh, I'm so good at this game. No, he does not have anti-air. Hold on, let me facepalm without knocking my headphones off. Hey, it's Phoenixio. We're gonna cast games from you after this, so stay tuned, friend. Actually, Shrike gonna build more strike fighters here. Oh, I will. Oh, I will. You know my thing. I cast every game from the upper bracket. That's my thing. Yeah, that's me, alright. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I like this. Battlecruiser fab coming out from Shrike here. Now, if you didn't know the thing, Soban battlecruisers they're pretty much like Coalition battlecruisers, same health, same speed. They're a little bit cheaper to tech to, I think. but their thing is that they fire railguns instead of the big mega cannons, you know what I mean? Which means they have lower DPS, but much higher range. Although, Coalition Battlecruisers have actually got like 1500 range right now. Tell me, A-Game, what is the range on Soban BCs now? Because I'm sure it's higher than it was in Vanilla, which is like 1700, which I always thought was pretty bad. By the way, money spot for a missile or a microwave emitter here. This is really good. Unchanged. Oh, yikes. Our unit's gonna fly close to the microwave emitter here. I believe, although I might be wrong, that they actually take damage from this. No, I don't think they do. It doesn't look like it. Artillery cruiser goes down here. Artillery cruiser is, of course, really expensive in CVC. Galzian Siege, pretty notably less expensive, but you really don't want to be losing that unit here. And this carrier feeling really confident to just kind of, like, march up the field. It is a Soban carrier. It's a little bit worryingly squishy. But he does have 1 power and armor here. He feels confident, and, you know, I trust him. Double BC going to be built here, so these things are a lot less expensive than Coalition ones. I think Coalition costs like 280 RUs or something like that. Tons of rails here. They're actually a little bit out of position. Probably wants to like just smoke up real quick here. But they are going to find they're going to find shots onto that artillery cruiser. And again, if this artillery cruiser goes down, this is going to be pretty big because that's an expensive unit. But this is a bit of a risky push that Shrike is making. He does get the kill though. He's going to rotate his carrier back here. Soban BCs must build faster too, because this is really speedy. I'm not used to BC drops happening this quick. And you know what? This could kill his opponent. I feel like he lost a lot of army here, but I mean, this is like a huge threat. You know what? The units lost tab is pretty close. Shrike definitely behind there, but not by too far. BC party bus complete. He is out. There's a bunch of rails in his way, though. He's probably going to lose this base also. Although, you never know. Like, good depth packs maybe could save this, although he doesn't have any power in ALMs either. But the BCs are in the hood. Shrike's carrier are a lot more powerful than A-Games right now. And the microwave emitter is almost back. Uh-oh. He pops the smoke, but the AC missile barrage is off, actually. That should have been a BC kill, but it missed. It's getting healed up by this SC. I don't know if it lives, though. Oh my gosh, it's actually going to get out of it. This one can smoke too. No smoke comes off of that one. This one really doesn't want to push back in. Yikes. Another BC is on the way. Microwave emitter going to land here. This is a really good target. I don't even know what's going on back here. Bad things, I assume. But this is really down to the wire. Yeah, A-Game trying to get out of the microwave emitter here, but he's taking a lot of damage to all these rails. None of them died to it, but they're all so low. And that's pretty typical of Soban microwave emitters. And that carrier, yeah, is really just kind of getting chunked here by this MWE. Yikes. Another BC coming out. And this could really be Shrike's first win against AGameAnx. The army is just not there anymore. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. He's actually going to do it. Is this not his first win against you? I'm pretty sure it's his first win against you. Game over. And Shrike with a really good performance there. I mean, that was like way better than I've ever seen him play, to be honest. Still some holes, right? You know, we have some problems over here, like keeping the eco, right? But that was so good. You beat him on that broken version of Galzian territories. Oh, of Galzian base. Like the gigantic one? I see. Wow. Great game, man. That was awesome. The Soban party bus. We don't often see that. I think the Coalition party bus is so much more, like, common to see, I think, because people know Coalition BCs, you know, they do a thing. And their carrier is a lot tougher as well, so it's a bit less risky, but the Soban party bus. That's awesome, man. Congrats, Shrike. Nicely done.